Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Exploring DC, where we take a piece of DC and explore it with you. I'm your host, Josh. With me is my co-host, Jalen. Jalen, how are
What's
you?
good, everybody? What's good? I'm doing really good, man. How are you, Josh?
I'm good. I feel like Luis and Jackson might come back someday. It's
They're
been
just
a
in the
while.
void somewhere. Yeah, I say they're in the void somewhere. They're like guest appearances now. Me and you are like the main characters, and they just come in periodically.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, man. It's like they're active in the group chat, and then it comes time to record, and it's like, oh, we have to graduate college and all this stuff, and it's like,
I
man,
know, right?
I don't.
Graduating college is so overrated. Who
Just
wants to
yeah,
graduate
a
college?
very minor thing to do. So
Yeah.
hopefully we'll see them back soon. Quick what's new, what's nerdy? Hit me with it, man. What's going on?
New in life. The short film that we were talking about last week,
Yes.
Daywalker.
Yes.
It ended up winning Best Cinematography, and Best Original Score, both done by our good buddy up here, Jackson Wells.
Congrats.
So Jackson, technically those are his awards, and also the film's awards. Something nerdy. The only nerdy thing that I've done in the last like week or so is read this comic, which oh my God, Jesus Christ, bro.
Yeah.
What about you?
Um, God, I haven't been up to much. Just kind of in the groove of everything and getting back to it. The weather's finally nice again. That's a big
Yeah,
plus. It's actually
yeah.
day when we're recording right now, and up here in Michigan, it's like normally been 30 degrees or lower for like the past few months, but now it's like we're hitting 70s and 80s, and it feels very weird to be outside without a coat.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. So how
Yeah.
long does it normally stay
Well,
in the
normally it
30s?
doesn't feed this long into the spring. It's leveled out by March, but this year it was cold forever, man. And it was on and off the whole time. Like I think our last
Mm,
snow was in March at some point, like later March, which was, you know,
Knowing in March is wild.
I know.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do it.
Yeah. I haven't been up to a lot of nerdy stuff, just kind of hanging. I'm still watching Marvel stuff. I watched Thor and Iron Man in one weekend, or Thor the Dark World and Iron Man 3. That was not a super exciting weekend of Marvel movies, dude, because I don't know. Those back to
Real
back are
talk.
not the most exciting things. I'm kind of in that I'm ready to get to the good stuff in this like little phase that I'm in right now.
Uh-huh. Real talk. Real talk. Real talk. Iron Man 3 is the best Iron Man movie.
No. The first one is easy.
I'm in that camp. I am an Iron Man 3 shooter
Yeah.
until the end of time, man.
As long as
Iron
you're
Man
not an
3 is
Iron Man
so
2
special.
defender to the point that
No,
like some people can be, I'm
no.
good, man. I get you. Yeah, let's talk about this comic that we read. We also have some a couple news things to talk about. The CinemaCon did happen as of recording this, but there really isn't a lot to talk about on that front. But we'll still kind of touch on it. But yeah, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Hard Traveling Heroes is what we're talking about today. This is a 7 issue comic run from 1983 to 1984, and it extends to 11 issues if you include some of the pivotal points, which includes like them doing the drug addiction arc with Roy Harper, Speedy, and John Stewart's first appearance. But those aren't like the actual Hard Traveling Heroes little mini arc. That's when they're traveling on the road with the Guardian of the Universe, which only is
Mm-hmm.
about 7 issues. Green
Yeah.
Lan- Green Arrow and Green Lantern embark on a cross-country road trip tackling relevant social issues like racism, drug addiction, and environmentalism. Written by Dennis O'Neil, who has created a bunch of characters. Man, he created Azrael, he created The Question, created Richard Dragon. He did a lot of work on Batman in addition to his work on Green Lantern.
Interesting. I could definitely see him as like a Batman writer, especially because Batman deals with a bunch of these themes,
Yeah.
which I mean, I guess we can get into when we actually start talking about the actual comic, but I'm very interested as to why, like, how they even came up with the concept of pairing these two together. Like, obviously, when you start reading, it makes a lot of sense, but I wonder, like, in their pre-planning phase, how Jordan and Oliver Queen
think
putting
it
them
extended
together.
beyond just that they're both green.
I think it started at the fact that they're both green.
Yeah,
What similarities or nevertheless what differences does the each of them have to where we can make this really compelling? And it's definitely compelling. It's one of the most compelling comics I've
yeah.
read.
The art here is by Neil Adams. He also has created a lot of characters. He did the first art for obviously John Stewart because this is John Stewart's first appearance, but he also did Man-Bat and Ra's al Ghul for the first time. And he
Uh-huh.
also did the art for Superman versus Muhammad Ali, which I thought was interesting. You ever seen that cover?
I've never seen that cover.
Oh
Wait, hold
yeah.
on. Let me let
Yeah,
me
Superman
let
fought
me
Muhammad
look it
Ali.
up. That does sound very 70s.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Superman versus Muhammad Ali. Oh, I've seen this before. Yeah,
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
mm-hmm.
Because okay. So back in the day, when we used to collect, when I used to collect like big omnibus comics,
Yeah,
there used to be like little. I mean, for some reason, I don't know why they had these little advertisements in the omnibuses, but there used to be like little promotions for comics like that.
really.
Yeah, in them. So I've seen that so many times. I believe it was for um one of the Teen Titans omnibuses that I have, because that entire original New Teen Titans run that I have volumes 1 through 5, which cover I think 25 issues
Is
or
that
25 to 30 issues.
that's the old Marv Wolfman run?
Yes, it is.
We should read that. I'd very much like to dive into that, man.
It's
That'd be
very
cool.
good.
That'd be
It's
cool.
very good.
What was your exposure with this one? I mean, I assume you're aware of it, but have you read it before?
Yeah. So the only thing that I knew about this was the infamous heroin arc. That
Yeah,
is
I
the
know that
only
cover anyway.
thing. Yeah, man. Oh my God, my ward is a junkie. Like that is by far the most iconic thing that I know about this. And I mean, I knew they teamed up in the comics, and I knew obviously with Blackest Night they had a history after this comic
Yeah,
run, and they became really good friends. Um, but I don't know, man. I went in, I guess, kind of blind, and I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even know that the heroine arc was, or Snowbirds Don't Fly, as it is officially titled.
mhm,
I didn't even know if that, or I didn't know that was actually a part of this run. It
yeah,
all just felt so like, because at first it felt very contained, and I knew that Jon Stewart got introduced in this storyline of things, but man, when we took Man, and the thing about it though is that when they took that turn, with the Snowbirds Don't Fly storyline, I was shaken.
yeah,
I fully did not expect, and I also didn't expect this to be as political. I mean, I knew it was going to be political, obviously, but I didn't expect it to be as political as it was.
yeah. It was definitely like um out there, and you know that from like issue one. I was clocking it because like in the first two issues, Green Arrow compares Hal Jordan to a Nazi like twice.
Yep.
I was like, okay, we're just like going at it. Green Arrow is very aggressive in this, more than I've ever seen.
Yeah. Okay. So that actually, I guess, pings a little exploring DC fact, or comic fact. Green Arrow started off as a Batman ripoff, essentially.
Really?
Yeah, and he even had an arrow car, he had an aeroplane, an arrow base, or an arrow cave. None of those make sense,
No.
unlike a bat cave, a bat plane, a Batmobile. All those make so much sense. But um, another thing too, originally he was owned by a different company. So they wanted their own Batman, and they wanted their own like Robin Hood style, but trying to lean more into that Robin Hood ism
Yeah.
storyline that they had. So Green Arrow used to be like that. Like he used to be very much a social justice warrior.
Yeah.
That was his thing. That was how they differentiated the two of them, because he fights more for the little guy than Batman does, in a sense. Like Green Arrow fights more for the hood than Bruce Wayne does,
Which I thought
you
was
know?
super cool because this comic does not lean into the fact that he has money at all. In fact, I don't think he has any money in this run because he gave a lot of it away. Which I
Hmm. Hmm.
especially when you after growing up really involved in the Arrowverse and having so many comparisons to Stephen Amell's Arrow and Batman, it's nice to pick up this and kind of get reminded of like where the character probably should be and hopefully is in like future adaptations. But he definitely is a lot to take in. And if you're not, I imagine like people reading this comic back in the 70s, like these were very poignant topics to touch on. Like are controversial, I would say. Like
Or
this is a lot for for someone in the 1970s to take in.
dog, I could only imagine because even I know censorship in the 70s was like a crazy ass thing, and it
Hmm.
was a crazy ass thing to get through, right? So I can only imagine the hoops they had to go through to even get this comic book made.
It's you see that in the Snowbird comic too, where they say we probably aren't going to be allowed to tell this, but we're going to tell it anyway, which I thought
Yeah,
was it was sick, dude. The problem is, and that you kind of alluded to, is that some of this is not aged well at all.
no,
It's aged
no.
really bad.
Even the line about that guy in that guy in the projects has, and I think the very first issue or something like that, where he's like, you protect this color, you protect this color, you protect this color and this color, but what about the black skins?
Hmm.
You know, granted, I get his point, and I'm with him. You know what I mean? But Hal Jordan definitely screamed Republican in that first in that
Right.
first side of things, you know? Um, and then even how do you feel about Jon Stewart's characterization?
Um,
That's a big issue for me. That is a huge issue.
look, dude, I think you could speak on it way more than me, but from what I saw, I was like, this is not.
No.
I did laugh when
He's
he said he wanted to be called the Black Lantern.
yeah. No, dog. The way
I
that
was like,
Jon
you can tell
Stewart
this shit's
is
written by
written,
white people.
bro, the way that Jon Stewart is written is almost like a not an Uncle Tom. He's definitely not written like Uncle Tom. He's written like a that classic black trope that you saw in the 70s in black exploitation films like
Mhm.
Shaft and a bunch of these other ones,
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
where he's written as like that you know, be against the man at all costs, be difficult, be this, be that, you know, written as aggressive. This, I think, is this era, the 70s, is kind of where that aggressive black male stereotype stemmed from,
Yeah.
or where it truly generated at. And I have actually never read Jon Stewart's introduction before we did for this podcast. I knew that there were a bunch of issues in it, and a lot of people said that Jon Stewart didn't become a cool mainstream character until Justice League or until the DCAU, because they couldn't use Hal Jordan, so they decided to go with their the Dwayne McDuffie's second favorite. And he also felt like the league needed some color, and some diversity, so he
Yeah.
chose John. And obviously that John is like a soldier. He is by the books. He's not difficult at all. He's really, really, really badass. And then you read this, and it's like this man might as well be jucking and jiving. Like
It was kind of he was kind of just Guy Gardner with a lot more stereotypes, you know?
very, yeah, yeah, for sure.
And I don't think it translated very well, but I understand why that was a characterization at the time in the 70s, just because of that you're coming just out of the civil rights movement and there was a lot of like having to fight back against. And so people probably dialed that up to 11. And that's where you get these stereotypes that really fed into around this era, like the Shaft era and black exploitation and stuff. But
Yeah.
it's definitely not great, but it's a hell of a lot better than that middle chunk of the road trip where we are venturing into Native American land.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
look, man, it's there's that one comic cover like midway through the run where it's Green Arrow in like a complete Native American headdress and he's about to execute Green Lantern. And that's also the comic where he dresses up as like one of their ancestors. And I'm like, okay, we might have it's like that meme where it's like you're too woke now. Like you've gone too like
Big, yeah,
this
bro.
is trying too hard, man. I think you've gone
Yeah.
past the point of saying something to the point where now it's just you're part of the problem.
Exactly, exactly. It felt like, have you ever seen Malcolm X, the Spike Lee movie?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Great movie.
Phenomenal movie. You know that one part where that white girl comes up to Malcolm and is like, "What can I do
Mm,
to support your cause?" And this whole comic felt like a bunch of white people getting in a room and being like, "All right, we are gonna turn comics into this big push for change."
right.
And they decided to, I guess they felt like writing each character, writing each situation in a stereotypical manner was pushing those social agendas when it just did not turn out well. It
No.
did not turn out well. Which
Oh,
isn't to say, which it definitely isn't to say that it didn't have some good conversations simmed around it.
no, it
You
did.
know?
It did. It's like saying things that matter and it was really powerful at the time. But like looking back now, it's very basic. Like the first issue of hey, racism is bad and we should protect marginalized communities. It's like, yes, that's a good point to bring up. And it's probably it spoke to that audience a lot more than it does now, where it now it just kind of falls like the very after school special.
It does. It does. It does. It does. It does. It does. But then you also have like those earlier points in the comic that truly felt like we were headed in that right direction.
Hmm.
And truly had some powerful, poignant stuff to say.
Yeah.
Like, I guess for you, how do you feel about that first dynamic between Hal Jordan and Oliver Queen?
I liked it a lot. I liked their emphasis on trying to connect more with their humanity, especially because I mean we're heading into Lanterns and that's a show that's supposed to be grounded in trying to, like we can have a whole conversation about that. But this one is how I would imagine you do that properly, where it's like, yes, we're still incorporating all our weird space fare and the Guardians of the Universe are around, but it's also trying to say, hey, the human element is important too. And there's a reason why we protect like this sector. And so I
Exactly,
thought that was
exactly.
so cool, even as goofy as it is to see the Guardian like turn into a human and pal around with them. I thought that was such a powerful thing for a comic run to do.
Yeah. And I guess like into the Guardian portion too, like I feel like that might have been one of my favorite things
Yeah.
is that specific Guardian being like, all right, I've come to obviously judge you both, and to see like why you would risk it all for the human race. But then when you truly see like the lower income areas, you see the struggles, you see the financial burdens that a lot of people go through on a daily basis, it kind of humanizes him a lot because for once he sees the struggle. And it's like an analogy for I bet you if some of these bigwigs who are millionaires,
Yeah.
I bet you if they lost all their money and for a day and went back to what it was like before they were millionaires, if and lived like how some of these lower income, lower to mid income people live, they would have a much deeper understanding of struggle. And I
Right.
think and I think that's a thing that's really missing today in society is the understanding of struggle.
It was really cool to see because I feel like superheroes get stuck in such a bubble of their
Yeah,
own area that
for
they
sure.
protect. It was cool to see so much exposure to all these different elements. And I think it would translate really well if they ever did some sort of adaptation of this. Like I think it'd be really cool to see a show or something where we see two heroes just traversing around the US and getting exposed to all these different issues. Because truly, like I mean, your part of the states and my part of the states is vastly different, and so is all these other parts. And it was really
Yeah.
cool to. I kind of wish it was just longer. I felt like we kind of got stuck in certain places for a couple issues, and I wanted them to explore more because even they talk about how they did a whole cross country check twice over, and I'm like, I really wish we could have got more of that.
I feel like if they were to sell it nowadays, it would be so much better,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
because I think these issues that they were trying to touch on has only gotten uh what's the word? Have only gotten deeper, I guess, in society. So it's like for them and it evolved, I
Hmm.
guess. These issues have embedded themselves more into society currently. So it's like for them to maybe do that run nowadays would be interesting. The only thing is that Hal Jordan isn't really that prevalent nowadays. I mean, he is,
Right.
but they're focusing more on like Jessica Cruz and Simon Baz and like some of the later Lanterns rather than some of the older ones.
But we could track out. We
You
could
know,
track Hal Jordan back out and do something.
I'm sure. I'm sure. And then
Yeah.
like Green Arrow stuff also hasn't really been as prevalent nowadays as it once was. So I would definitely love to see someone take a crack at doing this type of story again, or maybe like going back in time and telling a story of them from this period of time.
Yeah. But like back to your point, I thought the Green Lantern Green Arrow dynamic was great. I thought they contrasted really well, and I loved how much they butted heads on things. I think that was really refreshing as opposed to your very typical like let's just get along or let's full out be enemies. I think
Yeah.
having that it really made their actual friendship a lot stronger because they have passionate disagreements about things. The one issue I would say, and this is more a byproduct of its time, is that there's a lot of repeating like character growth where it's pretty much every issue where Green Lantern says his full oath, like they have to type out his full oath or write out his full oath every time. And then he's like, I don't know if I believe this anymore. I'm like, yeah, you said that the last four issues, dude. I get it.
Yeah, it definitely it hit the first time, but then it's like, all right, how many times are you gonna keep questioning it, bro? Like,
Like,
it clearly is flawed.
I also, how do you feel about like the Guardians kind of dampening his powers? It was very
Dog.
confusing to me the how it actually worked because there was also a point where they were on the Guardians' home planet or the one
Mhm.
that they got exiled to, and he's like, I don't even want to wear this ring anymore, but I'm not quitting. But then he still has the ring, or unless
Yeah.
I was
So
reading that wrong.
he still has it. The thing about the Guardians that you'll see when we delve more into the Green Lantern during like the lead up to Lanterns,
Right.
the Guardians are very corrupt. They're very, 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 very corrupt.
Yeah, you can tell.
And yeah, they actually, I don't know if you knew this, and also for our viewers or our listeners out there, they made the Manhunters.
Oh, really?
They, yeah. Oh my God, you didn't know this. So I get to educate you. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
DC moment right here. All right, so they actually made the Manhunters, and the Manhunters are responsible for the destruction of Atrocitus' home planet, and they're also responsible for the enslavement of Sinestro's home planet.
Oh, no kidding.
Sinestro became a Green Lantern, and Atrocitus became a Red Lantern because of the decimation and the pain and the destruction that the Manhunters have caused.
Right.
Atrocitus knows that the Manhunters were created by the Guardians, and the Guardians created the Manhunters as their first peacekeeping force before the Green Lanterns or any of the spectrums ever existed. But then one day, like AI, the Manhunters got a glimpse of the disorder that was going on in the universe.
Hmm.
And the only way to solve disorder is through enforcing order in their mind, a
That's
very black and white
interesting.
level of thinking. So then you get Atrocitus' side, which I'm sure we'll get into later on, but mainly Sinestro's side. Sinestro became a Green Lantern because he had the willpower to fight against the Manhunters for enslaving his people. But then when he found out, and this is why Sinestro is my favorite villain, he is like if Obi-Wan took the Anakin path.
That's so cool. I really like that.
Yeah, and it's like he lived and he died by that oath. But when he found out that the Guardians created the Manhunters,
It was all a
he
lie,
lost
pretty
it.
much.
He felt so betrayed.
Yeah.
But there's still so much love for the Guardians that he has that isn't really touched upon. Everyone always like every mainstream comic. that you read with Sinestro in it is always like he's this mustache twirling villain who hates the Green Lanterns. No, it's so much more complex than that because the Green Lanterns betrayed him, they enslaved his people. He's right, if anything.
Hmm.
And anyone who wears that Green Lantern ring, he sees it as hypocrisy. Because it's like you're fighting to free a galaxy that your masters enslaved.
That's fascinating.
And that's why I love the Green Lantern so much. It's because
Yeah.
it goes so much deeper on that. So the Guardians dampening the powers, it didn't surprise me. That's the
No.
least of
That's the
what
least
they've done.
surprising thing.
They have done some fucked up shit. And then the Manhunters is only the tip of the iceberg, bro. They've done so much more stuff.
I think I was
Like
just kind
like
of confused about the logistics of it because sometimes it felt like he
yeah,
was
yeah.
operating normally, and sometimes it was like he's like,
That's
"Oh,
true.
I can't do this right now."
Yeah,
It was a little
that I
goofy.
think is just like writing inconsistency there.
Yeah. I
So
liked
yeah,
when the Guardian that was posing as a human, I forget his name off the top of my head, but he saved Hal instead of saving the boat full of people. And
yeah,
I was like, yeah, that's cool, but I honestly think it should have been the other way. I think Green Arrow should have went to go save Green Lantern, and this guy saved like the boat full of people.
yeah.
I
I
was like, you're
agree
gonna
with
leave
you.
Green Arrow in charge of this whole boat? I don't know. But I thought overall, like I didn't it's really just the stuff that hasn't aged well, which is a lot of the stuff with Native Americans that drags this one
Yeah,
back.
yeah. That is definitely one of those moments where you're reading and you're like, oh,
Like, oof.
a sore spot in DC history.
Because a lot of the other issues they touch on are pretty basic now, but they're not like I guess John Stewart's pretty bad too. But like when they touch on, I guess we can jump into stuff they did with Roy Harper and Speedy. They touch on the drug epidemic. I think none of it's particularly offensive or crazy bad. It's just very like
Mhm.
white saviory where I think Green Arrow comes in and immediately is like, I can just solve the issue.
Yeah,
And I think it's a
yeah,
lot more nuanced than what they were kind of presenting it as.
yeah. And you want to know what's crazy too is that, and viewers, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there was any indication like that Speedy was or that Roy Harper was a drug addict.
No, I think it
Like
was just
there was,
out of the blue.
yeah, it was out of the blue. Whereas with like Jason Todd, there was clear indication that that motherfucker was gonna die. There was like
Yeah,
clear indication. Or in any of these other bigger storylines, you kind of felt it. With this, you didn't feel it at all. Especially because Green Arrow, I think his longest run up until this point was 4 issues.
really.
And other than that, he only served like as like the back issue of other people's runs. So he didn't even really have a main storyline. So it's like to pull this out with this character in particular, the main social justice warrior of DC,
Yeah.
it it's an interesting move, but I do like how they handled it. Because like you said, it's not necessarily offensive, but it does feel very white savory. I think this entire comic feels kind of white savory.
That's kind of the
If I'm being
vibe.
completely wrong, yeah, if it feels like three white guys with powers, well, two with powers, one without, fighting to save black, brown, and other colored people,
Kind of like when you have
you
someone
know?
from a few generations ago touch on a social issue in like a positive way, and you're
Yeah,
like, oh, you're getting it, but also you're not
yeah,
even close to fully there.
exactly, exactly, exactly. That's
But
like that's like the main thing. That's the issue
yeah,
in I think this run. But I think at the same time, you had this time where it was you saw either that white savior part or you saw the black exploitation part, and there was
yeah.
never an in between there.
You know what I thought
You
was
know?
it was really powerful in the one panel where Roy's explaining how he fell to a path of drugs, and it's basically because of Green Arrow shenanigans going on this cross-country road trip with Green Lantern and the neglect
Hmm.
he felt. But then it's immediately so funny, the next panel where Green Arrow's like, well, that's a stupid reason. And he
Yeah,
doesn't realize it's about him.
one of the things that like this comic I remember even nowadays had I guess some controversy over was the way that Green Arrow responded.
Oh yeah, because he just beats the shit out of him.
Yeah, he does not respond like a trusted adult at all.
No,
Like he
it's
responds like
terrible.
someone who's like chastising him, you know?
It's I wish it was expanded on more issues because I think we really could have got somewhere, but with the two issues, it feels like a very rushed storyline. But it was cool. It
Yeah,
was really cool that they did it. I just kind of wanted, it's the whole thing. It's like I just wanted, I would love something new from this, like an expanded
yeah.
version, a remake, like another uh similar storyline. I think it'd be so cool because the ideas here are really great. It's just the execution. I also think
Execution ain't it.
they cut the road trip off way too early because the following like issues, every issue they're like just having to find some excuse to get Green Lantern and Green Arrow back together because they break off at the end of the road trip, and then every next issue they're like, I gotta go see my buddy Green Arrow. And that happens five
Yeah.
like succession. Ugh, I can't even speak, man. But yeah, I don't know. It was structured weird, but I really liked it overall. I think it just hasn't
Yeah.
aged well. But it was really cool to read, but also just so strange.
I really liked it overall too. I'm interested to see, well, I'm really not interested to see, but if the DCU decides to finally lock in, then it'll be cool to see them interact.
It would be.
But as we will get into, I my faith for the DCU is like
Yeah. Do you think that Lanterns will pull from this at all, but just kind of replace Green Lantern, Green Arrow with John Stewart, Al Jordan?
for sure. I think this was their main drawing point as to why they wanted to do an Earthbound story.
I think that's cool. I just
You
think
know,
this comic still leans into all the like sci-fi elements, and I'm worried that the show won't.
the show definitely will not. I
Yeah.
mean, even the guy who plays Kyle Chandler was asked if there will be any other colors in the show, and he's like, I can neither confirm nor deny. Like,
Uh,
uh,
well, but we've
like
heard reports of Sinestro and Atrocitus. That's where I'm like, I need to see the show to make
I
a final
worry,
judgment call.
I worry that it's gonna be a final episode thing, or like a final two episodes thing, where yeah, you're gonna see a bombastic amount of colors, but for the most part, to save money, it's gonna just be them in human forms with like blasts
Yeah,
or like
that's
a
what
fist or something like
I'm worried
that.
it's gonna be a human disguise type of thing, and I'm like,
Yeah. Which is why I say this should have been a Martian Manhunter show. You're trying to utilize one of the
literally,
original seven. Martian Manhunter makes so much more sense. He would work better as a TV show, in my personal opinion, than a film.
yeah,
Because then you can get into like that WandaVision, Loki, Wonder Man side of things where it's not about the action, it's about the hard-hitting story, the character study, you know?
yeah,
So I don't feel like Hal Jordan and John Stewart are the right characters to do an Earthbound countryside mystery story about aliens disguising themselves as humans.
literally. We'll have to see, man. I don't know. But that we talked to that up to death, so we'll just kind of wait for more
Yeah,
footage or anything before that. But yeah, overall, I'd probably give this a thumbs up with the asterisk of like kind of know what you're getting
yeah,
into.
for sure. I
You know,
would
it's
agree.
like when you watch an old Disney movie and you have to have the like content warning. I was like, just so you know,
Yeah,
there's like shit in here that's.
yeah.
But overall, I really liked it, man.
I agree with you. I
Yeah,
I really liked it. I feel like it definitely aged um horror in some areas, you know. But overall, man, a really hard hitting story for sure. And I like how it gave you more of a dilemma for Hal Jordan, where he was like a conservative cop, and then
yeah,
he saw the struggle and he changed
and he
throughout.
changed.
So I think that was cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more nuanced of the two sides of the political coin compared to what we get now, which is very a lot more aggressive. I think it was cool to
Yeah.
see things kind of merge. I have one blind rank related to this. I can only
Okay.
come up with one.
Let's
It's
hit it. Let's hit it. Let's hit it. Let's
so
hit it.
this gets the reboot, right? Exact same story, but we have
Uh-huh.
new issues, and you're gonna rank like where you want to see these issues, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
Um, okay. I was reading what I had. All right. First one, crypto, not the dog, the digital coin.
Jesus Christ.
You think Green Arrow's getting pissed because he like This is robbing from
I'm
the
gonna
people, or is he in support of it?
I'm gonna go four. I'm gonna go four.
Scientology.
Two, two. I have to go two. Green Arrow against Tom Cruise.
Male podcasts.
Oh, that has to be three. That has to be three.
Who do you think would be more likely to have a male podcast, Green Arrow or Green Lantern?
Green Arrow, for sure.
And
For
by the
sure.
way, we are males on a podcast, but we're talking specifically about like the
The Andrew
alpha male.
Tates.
Yeah,
Yeah. Definitely Green Arrow. I feel like Oliver would totally have an anonymous podcast about eat the rich,
eat the rich.
feed the poor. Yeah.
AI,
One.
AI. You want to see them talk about AI?
I do.
I do.
I
Who do
think
you
that,
think's
that
more
would be
against it?
interesting.
Green Lantern or Green Arrow? I feel like it's got to be Green Lantern because it's basically the antithesis of creativity.
That's an interesting perspective. I was actually going to say Green Arrow because I feel like how Jordan had that, at least the older version of how Jordan had that straight and narrow way of thinking of like, yeah, it's the antithesis of creativity, but at the same time, it's the way that the world is going. It's a straight and narrow path,
Did you?
you know?
I found it weird when he was trying to research stuff in this comic, Green Lantern, and they revealed that Hal Jordan used to be like an insurance guy.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
I do not
I
remember him having that job ever.
stuff they mentioned that happened off screen or off comic.
And then last one I got here is vaping, which we'll
Oh,
put at five, I
five,
guess.
five. Yeah, yeah. I say yeah. I would rather see them do so many other topics than vaping. So I'm happy with this. This is actually maybe my favorite
It's a
ranking that we've
yeah,
had so far.
yeah. I'm talking about put if you put all those issues in, you get a lot worse version of this comic, but a lot
Oh
funnier.
yeah, oh yeah, for a fact. Especially like the male podcast. That would have been
It's got to
interesting.
be addressed, man. The readers got to know. Let's whip through some of this news real quick. Let's talk about it. I'm trying to remember what else I had from this week, but the big one was that actresses tested for Maxima. And when we were originally going to record this, we didn't know who it was going to be. But now we know it's going to be Adria Arjona, who is Bix in Andor. She's also in Morbius. She was in Hitman recently. She's been in quite a few things. She's also Jason Momoa's girlfriend, which I think is relevant.
Uh-huh.
And I think she's a phenomenal actress. I'm very excited about this. But there's a lot of rumors that she's secretly Wonder Woman. And I need to know what you think about that because I don't know if I buy into that at all.
I think that she is not Wonder. Actually, no, 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 no. I think she is Wonder Woman.
Mhm.
But I think it is very stupid to even play with people like this. Like,
If
just
she
reveal
is,
it. Just
yeah,
reveal it. Yeah, just reveal it. People, I'm gonna be honest, they're in such a shit position. They need all the
Goodwill.
buzz they can get,
Yeah.
you know, because it is getting exhausting to see James Gunn on Instagram and Twitter and all these other places debunking rumors. Like, to be honest, just let rumors fly. Let them fly. It builds up hype for you. It actually helps you.
He's becoming the like actually guy. So when they originally
Yeah.
reported that Adria had tested with two other people, he's like, this is crazy false. Like, I don't know. This is usually a reliable source, but I don't know where what was it, Hollywood Reporter got that news or Nexus Point or
Uh-huh.
something like that.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then you find out that the only reason he said it was like blatantly false is just because two of those actresses didn't test. And I was like, dude,
Stupid.
why are we doing like
Stupid.
well, actually, just because you said these other two people, this means this whole story is like blatantly false.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's one of those things where I'm just like sitting there and I'm like, dude, just shut up. Just shut up for once.
Just, just
Just let it happen. If there are rumors, people will see. Like one of the things that I will say about Kevin Feige and all them, they're not chronically online.
yeah.
Like if there's a rumor and it's right, then it's right. If there's a rumor and it's wrong, then they just let it fly. Like let it ride. It generates some conversation for you that actually helps you, you know?
I think it's cool that he's plugged into the community because I saw recently Brad Winderbaum hopped on a podcast and started talking about stuff, and he was actually
Uh-huh.
pretty well spoken, but he's not constantly online talking to people. He's just
No,
observing the community and kind of not even like basing their creative decisions on that, but just kind of observing what people are responding to. And that's what James Gunn should be doing. Like you can still post your like anniversary posts and like behind the scenes photos, but when you're just answering all these questions with like very vague answers, that's when you're going to get people annoyed because now people think that you'll just respond to them for whatever they want to talk about.
exactly, exactly. And that is an issue. He's too tapped in. He is entirely too tapped in to the point where he lies.
Yeah.
And that's never good. So
He's getting himself
I
in
don't know, man.
situations constantly, man. And it's like, dude, it's like it's so easily avoidable.
Yeah, it is. And it's one of those things where I'm just like, dog, like, come on, man. Like just Supergirl needs to come on. Supergirl needs to come on. Like we need to get back into this world because I
Yeah.
I, I think after
I,
Superman they were on such a high. Peacemaker was a high, and then that finale just
mhm.
it legitimately was like a roller coaster, bro. Where it was like we were so high off of Superman, Peacemaker was still so high, having constant conversation. That finale killed
Yeah.
everything.
And it sucks because we haven't seen these projects yet. So it's not like we know how this is data things. Like we can talk at the end of the year about how things are. But right now, it's just kind of we're
Yeah,
literally just going off of people are saying the universe is washed based on these trailers and James Gunn's social media posts. And we've talked about our disappointment and like being less excited, but I think that people are overinflating how bad things are just because they're getting really impatient. And James Gunn is not helping to die down those flames. He's like fanning them a lot of
yeah,
the time.
and that
Yeah,
is
it
the
sucks.
unfortunate truth of that man.
Do you like Adria
And
as in this movie? Are you excited?
oh yeah, yeah, like I'm very excited. I think I don't like Maxima in this movie. If she's Maxima,
No?
like that character served no purpose. I mean, she is literally the side chick, like, and she's not even
Yeah.
a side chick. Like, her thing is she's someone looking for a good warrior to be a husband. So she finds Superman, but
She's
Superman
basically
rejects her
Silk, right?
over
From
and
Spider-Man.
over and over. Yeah, but way worse,
But way
way
worse.
worse. Silk is cool. Silk is badass, but Maxima's not.
See, I
Like,
think the most
yeah,
boring
she
answer
was a
though is that this is what it's gonna be, man.
yeah. I mean, she was a member of the Justice League for a little period of
Oh
time,
yeah.
but nothing came of it. It was very like it was like a one and done type of thing, and Maxima herself is just someone who is kind of like embarrassing almost. Like it's not great.
It's weird because like I'm in two camps where I don't exactly want Wonder Woman in this movie, making it like a Justice League proto movie and BVS Part 2, you know? I rather would have a
Mhm.
Superman sequel. But at the same time, you're right, I don't really care about Maxima and I'd rather see Adria play Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
I just think the whole situation's weird.
it is weird. It's very weird. I genuinely cannot tell you what they're doing.
No.
I can't at all.
Let's talk about CinemaCon real quick. That'll probably be our wrap-up topic. But we did get a couple things. They showed Supergirl footage. It was her on an alien bus, big fight sequence. People said it looked okay. I still don't think they're really showing anything that's crazy exciting. I think the most exciting thing that people talk about is that this like Kryptonese language that they learned for all the
Hmm.
Kryptonian scenes. I keep hearing that get hyped up and like how much effort they put into doing that. So I'm excited
Yeah,
to see that portion of it.
that's cool. I'm also excited to see how much David Cornsweet Superman is actually in this film,
Me
because
too.
apparently I heard that they're going to show when Kara first
Met him.
landed on Earth. Yeah,
That would be super cool. I think it's gonna be. Look, I'm not. I go back and forth with that movie like every week. I need to see it, man. I just kind
I
of feel
get
like I
you.
already know where I'm at with it.
Yeah,
So hearing about CinemaCon footage is not moving the needle or changing
I
my
get you.
perspective at all. Clayface getting a first look though is exciting because I heard
Clayface sounded cool.
it
Clayface
sounded
sounds
pretty
really
cool,
cool.
man. And it seems like it's leaning full into horror like we suspected. It sounds like it's pretty gruesome. Like
Mhm.
everyone's talking about that shot where his face is like melting off.
Yeah, where he like wipes his face and it's just like,
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I heard really good things. That it was one of the
yeah.
highlights of that whole Warner Brothers panel.
I also saw where someone was like, the title is red. The title looks a lot like the Matt Reeves Batman
Like the
universe.
Batman
Yeah, but everyone is saying that the Gotham looks so different. It doesn't look the same at all.
until it
So
happens, until it happens and I'm right and
it's
everyone owes
not
me
gonna
money.
happen. It's not gonna happen.
The,
It
it,
genuinely is not gonna
money on
happen.
the table, man. Whatever. It's fine.
Money on the table. It's not gonna
That's
happen.
what they're doing. They're leaving money on the table, not connecting that shit, bro. Are you kidding me? It sounds really cool though. I'm very excited.
Yeah. For once, we're excited about
For
something.
once.
Viewers, we actually said we're excited about something DCU.
The other thing people talked about is that they showed a ton of stuff for all their movies in like 27 and even announced stuff that's going to production for 28 releases, like Warner Brothers, which was notable one because we don't know what the buyout's going to be like and how things are going to get affected. And that feels like 2028 feels like they're going to be bought out by then. So it's cool to see that they're still planning on all this stuff. But
Yeah.
the one movie that they did not mention at all, period, is the Batman Part 2.
Interesting.
They had a sizzle reel. They had all these updates. Man of Tomorrow, I think, got like two updates, but the Batman got nothing. And that's the same. I mean, there's nothing to show, but at the same time, you feel like you'd want to talk about it. So I think it's very interesting.
Yeah. I
That's a big
mean,
movie, you know?
it is a big movie. I think that they're trying to really pace themselves with it. So I think right now, yeah, it is 2027. I think it's getting delayed. I
Dude, I
think
don't know
right
if we
now
can
they're
handle
trying
another
to
delay.
dog, I think they're trying to truly be like, okay, can we hit October of 2027 or do we? Because I know
That's
that Andy
ridiculous,
Serkis,
though,
yeah, but because I know that Andy Serkis isn't filming until later on this year, like December.
because he's doing Gollum stuff at some point, right?
Yeah, because he's directing and editing and doing whatever he needs to do with that. So he's like trying to be as locked in. He's not joining them until way later. So it's like, can they be done filming in, let's just say, February,
And
and
then
then
he's just going to
edit
be
and
added in
release?
reshoots.
Yeah,
Ah,
is it? I think
dude,
they're trying to
how?
question
Like,
if it would be like a reality, you know?
I at a certain point, you gotta hit film, man. Like, you gotta be like,
Yeah.
hey, you're contracted to be in this movie. Show up. Stop booking other things. Instead, waited.
Yeah,
It's because they waited so long on the script, and all these actors are like, well, we booked all these other projects because we had to wait so long on the script. And that's the problem
yeah,
with, you know, there's a certain point where you want to like creatives have their time to write. But I think it was a long time, man.
it is. It is a long time. So I'm hoping for no delay, but of
Yeah.
course,
But
we'll
they'll
see.
cook. They'll cook, you know.
Oh, for sure.
So
I
it's
mean,
fine.
Robert Pattinson himself said the script is incredible, so
Let's hope,
I have no
man.
worries there.
Let's hope. That's all I really got. I saw that Absolute Batman's getting added to Lego Batman. I pre-ordered that the other day.
When is the game coming out again? Remind me.
May 22nd because I got moved up a week.
Okay, is next week is that Lego Batman 3? Is that what
No,
we're doing it?
we're gonna do that soon. We're doing the end of the month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be very
Dang. Okay.
cool. But
Cool.
yeah, adding that suit, considering that comic came out like a year and a half ago already is pretty cool
Iconic.
to see in media, you know?
Yeah, iconic. That's all you gotta say is iconic.
Iconic, man. Yeah, this was fun, Jalen. Thanks so much for reading an old 1980s comic with me.
Always, man. The main character's gotta always show up.
I'll always show up. We'll be back next week, folks. So stay tuned and bye.
See ya.